あなたが好きよ、引きがやくん。
Hey guys, it's Ash here with Watch Mojo, and these are the top 20 anime moments we waited years to see.
君こそ相変わらず可愛いよ。
ほうほう、一発の口を聞くようになっちって。
Number 20, Midoriya tells his classmates the truth. My Hero Academia. As we all know, Deku was originally quirkless, meaning he had no superpowers of his own. This all changed, however, when he was granted the powers of One for All by All Might, after proving his courage to the legendary hero.
君なら私の力、受け継ぐに値する。
In order to keep not only himself, but others around him safe, Deku and All Might would keep this power transfer a secret.
その手に掴んで。
食え。
いや。
After becoming the prime target of Shigaraki and All for One, Deku was forced to leave the academy, but not before leaving a letter for each of his 1A classmates, revealing the truth behind his powers.
僕の力はオールマイトから授かった特別なもので、シガラキとオール・フォー・ワンは僕を狙って動いています。
Number 19, Baki vs Biscuit Oliver. Baki Hanma. The Baki franchise has been host to all sorts of incredible fighters in many shapes and sizes, but quite possibly the most impressive is Biscuit Oliver. This hulking mass of a man was first introduced in the anime all the way back in the final episode of the original series back in 2001.
I hate to break it to you, but there's no way you can ever cut through my muscles with that butter knife.
Although he would make his return in the sequel anime, we wouldn't see him fight our protagonist until the conclusion of the Great Prison Battle Saga, 2 decades later.
見たまんま、誰でもわかることさ。閉じ込められる部屋がないっつうことなんだよ。
The battle itself was well worth the wait, with Biscuit proving to be Baki's toughest opponent so far. Number 18, Griffith's return, Berserk. Griffith's betrayal at the end of the original series is one of the most controversial scenes in all of anime.
I submit.
The leader of the Band of the Hawk would sacrifice all his men in order to become a member of the God Hand, and proceed to violate Casca in front of his friend Guts. We thought for sure this would be the last time we saw Griffith under his original guise, and that his new Femto getup was here to stay. We were proven wrong, however, when at the end of the first 2016 season, Griffith is resurrected in his original form, much to the dismay of both Guts and Casca. Number 17, Jinbei officially joins the Straw Hat Pirates, One Piece. The last person to join the Straw Hat Pirates was Brook all the way back in 2008 during the Thriller Bark arc. From then on, the closest we got to a new member was when Luffy asked the former warlord of the sea Jinbei to join whilst on Fishman Island.
俺の仲間になれよ。
Jinbei initially declines as he wanted to secure the safety of his fellow fishmen, but promises to join the next time he sees Luffy if the offer still stands. After leaving the Big Mom Pirates, Jinbei would finally come face to face with Luffy again, officially joining the Straw Hat Pirates.
忘れんな、ジンベエ。お前の船長はもう俺だぞ。
Sadly, this meeting wouldn't last long, but Jinbei would reunite with the crew once again during the Battle of Wano. Number 16, Natsu reunites with Igneel, Fairy Tail. From the very beginning of Fairy Tail, our favorite Dragon Slayer Natsu had made it very clear that his main quest is to find out exactly what has happened to his foster father, Igneel.
なあ、ハッピー。サラマンダってのはイグニールのことだよな。
Having brought up Natsu from a young age, the powerful dragon Igneel, along with every other dragon, suddenly vanished from the face of the planet without a trace. Turns out that the dragons actually hid themselves within the bodies of their foster children in order to prevent them from transforming into dragons themselves. Igneel would finally make his dramatic return when he unleashed himself from Natsu in order to take on the Dragon King Acnologia. Number 15, the O2 Digidestin's return. Digimon Adventure Last Evolution Kizuna. Digimon fans had been chomping at the bit to see the old O2 heroes for a long time. So when the Digimon Emperor reappeared in the Tri-movie series, it only made sense that the rest would follow. Unfortunately, that ended up not being the actual Ken, and O2 fans also got completely shafted when they were only given silhouettes of the rest of the cast. Thankfully, Digimon Last Evolution Kizuna would rectify that by having them return for real this time. And while they weren't the central focus of the story, it was nice to see the kids aid Matt and Tai once again. Number 14, Zangetsu's Identity, Bleach, 1000-Year Blood War. Within Ichigo's original Zanpakuto lies two very different spirits taking on the name Zangetsu. The first takes the form of a hollow who is identical to Ichigo. The second, however, is a lot more mysterious, taking on the form of an older man clad in shades. For years, we wondered who exactly this man is, and as it turns out, he is not the real Zangetsu. He is in fact the spiritual manifestation of Ichigo's Quincy powers, who claims he both is and is not the leader of the Quincy's, Yhwach.
その男は君の中のクインシーの力、その姿は1000年前のユーハバッハだ。
Zangetsu revealed that he would hold back Ichigo's Shinigami powers for years, fearing that he would have to kill him.
そして私は今こうして身を引けることに喜びさえ感じている。
Number 13, Mob's Confession, Mob Psycho 100. From the very beginning of Mob Psycho 100, Mob has made it very clear to the viewers that he harbors an intense crush for his fellow classmate Tsubomi Takane.
夢ならあった。初恋の人、つぼみちゃんに告白して手をつないで一緒に帰るんだ。
Part of the reason being that during their childhood, Tsubomi showed great kindness to him and was initially impressed by his psychic powers. When Mob finds out that she's transferring away from the school, he decides that it's now or never and builds up the courage to finally ask her out.
告白しなきゃ。
Although there are quite a few major detours before this moment, Mob finally confesses to her after almost completely destroying the town. While he may not have been given the answer he wanted, Mob took it in his stride and clearly grew as a person.
待ってただけマシじゃねえか。これからだよ、これから。はい。
Number 12, Shinichi and Ran finally get together. Detective Conan. Before the beginning of Detective Conan, it was quite clear that Shinichi and Ran were going to become an item.
言ったじゃないの。私が空手の都大会で優勝したらトロピカルハットに連れてってくれるって。
This was all railroaded when Shinichi was transformed back into a child by the Black Organization and forced to take on the alias of Conan Edogawa.
体が縮んでる。
After over 2 decades, many fans had given up the hope that they would get together. However, their wishes would come true when Shinichi responded to Ran's text, confirming them as a couple. While it may take several more years before we see Conan return to his normal body, many fans consider this moment a huge milestone in the series.
私たち付き合ってるってことでいいんだよね。
付き合ってるに決まってるだろ。
Number 11. Shinji finally confronts his father. Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0 thrice upon a time. From the very beginning of the original series, the relationship between this father and son was certainly a hostile one, with Gendo forcing Shinji to get inside the Eva and protect humanity from the angels.
できっこないよ。こんなの乗れるわけないよ。乗るなら早くしろ。出なければ帰れ。
With the conclusion of the original story, many thought we'd never see these two sort things out, but everything changed when the Rebuild movie series made it clear that they were more than just retellings, leading to Shinji finally confronting his father.
もうやめてよ、父さん。
ダメだ。私には。
Gendo makes clear all of his intentions to Shinji, and the two finally make peace. The icing on the cake to this confrontation is the fact that it leads to Evangelion achieving its first truly happy ending after over 25 years.
すまなかった。シンジ。
Number 10. Naraku is defeated. Inuyasha the final act. The Spider's quest to reform the Shikon Jewel fueled many, if not all, of the series' conflicts, driving the titular half-demon dog and his friends to try and stop him on numerous occasions, and not always coming out victorious.
It would have been easier for you to die believing that Inuyasha was your sworn enemy, not me.
Naraku eventually succeeds in his goal during the last few episodes and appears to have become invincible, but thanks to an undying love for Kagome and the nostalgia of hardcore retro fans, Inuyasha was able to cleave through and finally slay the beast, earning everyone a plethora of happy endings in the process. Number 9. The Basement. Attack on Titan.
帰ったらずっと秘密にしていた地下室を見せてやろう。
本当に?
The contents of the Jaeger's basement had been puzzling fans ever since its inception, and yet for the longest time were given nothing to clue them in. It wasn't until Eren and the Survey Corps sliced through a hell of a lot of giant heads and took down an entire internal conspiracy before they finally made it.
から?
よく見ろ。二重底だ。
Inside, they discovered several books, which revealed more information about the Titans, Grisha's past, as well as the life of humanity beyond the walls. While they didn't answer all our pressing questions, the ones we got flipped everything we thought we knew.
わかってるよ、母さん。
行ってきまーす。
ほら。
Number 8. Amuro and Char's Fate. Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn. There have been many classic rivalries in anime over the years, but few hold a candle between the original Gundam pilots and the Red Comet. However, their final battle left their actual fate up in the air, with both labeled officially missing in action following the events of Char's counterattack.
しかしこの温かさを持った人間が地球さえ破壊するんだ。それをわかるんだよ、アムロ。
It was not until nearly 3 decades later that fans had their true fates confirmed, in which the duo appeared as spirits, cementing that they had perished after all. But hey, at least they got their reunion with Lala.
もういいのか。
あとは彼らに任せよう。
Number 7. Goku meets 17. Dragon Ball Super.
うっす。オメガ17号か。
お前とは会ったことはないが。
Considering he's something of an expert when it comes to smashing apart androids, some fans were disappointed that Goku never got to test his mettle against Android 17 back in his Z days. Then along came Super to grant their wish, though perhaps not how they had expected.
オラにおめえの今の力確かめさせてもらえて。
While recruiting allies for the Tournament of Power, Goku seeks out the former murderous machine on an island, where he'd become a park ranger and a family man. While their instant chemistry might seem a little strange at first, we do get to see them dust off the gloves in a quick practice match. Number 6. Atom's Return, Yu-Gi-Oh! The Dark Side of Dimensions. Following their final duel, the spirit of Atom, the ancient card game playing pharaoh possessing Yugi Muto's body, was finally allowed to move on to the afterlife. Although time travel shenanigans allowed for further appearances from the character in sequel series and films, fans were still eager for a proper return by the character.
Yes, we'll duel, and we'll do so with my new bleeding edge beyond state-of-the-art duel disc. I've been waiting for this a long time, Pharaoh. Now, prepare to do battle!
Of course, you can leave it to Kaiba and his monstrous ego to somehow goad a ghost back into the world of the living just for the chance. With his rival causing mayhem and his former dueling vessel in need of saving, Atom makes a grand cameo that shakes the heavens. Number 5. Gon meets his dad, Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah.
Considering his entire reason for becoming a hunter was to seek out his father Jing, this reunion was literally years in the making. Gon's attempts to find his absentee father formed the basis for several arcs, but it wasn't until the finale that the two were able to meet.
Yeah.
Jing may not have been there for his son growing up, but he still manages to impart some great wisdom while deepening the vast lore of the world. No matter your opinion on the Master Hunter, the conversation between these two was still wholly vibrant and meaningful. Number 4. Ed and Al get their bodies back. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. The primary goal of the Elric brothers, restoring their bodies, became the obsession following a botched and deadly alchemic experiment to resurrect their mother, something they dearly paid for. Their hunt for the Philosopher's Stone took them all over the world, but it wasn't until they finally brought down Father that they made their goal a reality. With each sacrificing something to restore what the other lost. It's a heartwarming and fist-pumping moment that had 2 full series of build-up to reach, and the result has us cheering/crying every single time. Number 3. Naruto becomes Hokage. Naruto franchise. Considering this ninja in training refused to shut up about it, it became very clear what his goal was from the beginning, to climb the ranks and become the leader of the Hidden Leaf Village. And we'll be damned, he actually pulled it off. It took mountains of filler, sequels, and OVA, but he got there in the end. Though after stopping the likes of Pain, Madara, and Kaguya, there really wasn't any other eligible candidates. Regardless of the weight, it felt good to see him earn the respect he had long sought, while doing a fair bit of growing up in the process.
Uzumaki Naruto!
Number 2. Ash wins a Pokemon League. Pokemon. I want to be the best like no one ever was? Well, Ash Ketchum certainly could have fooled us, because for all his lofty ambitions, he couldn't win a tournament to save his life for most of the show's history. All that changed though with the Alola League. It's still quite shocking given all the grief and parodies that have been made up about this trainer's inability to both win a championship as well as age up. But lo and behold, he pulled it off in the most spectacular fashion imaginable against Gladion. This would lead him to compete in the Masters 8 tournament, where he would defeat Leon and become world champion. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Lelouch is alive! Code Geass, Lelouch of the Resurrection. He sacrificed himself as the ultimate tyrant so peace could bloom thereafter. R.I.P. Lelouch. But in the years since his departure, fans have speculated, what if he didn't die? What if that brilliant mind found a way to accomplish his goal and survive? Lo and behold, a cinematic sequel that reveals that the man formerly known as Zero has been brought back from the dead. And sure, technically the movies are set in an alternate continuity, blah blah blah, whatever. The important thing is that he got to live to see the world he created in some manner. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.